Hey everybody, I'm Tiffany Weber. I'm a real estate attorney in Mooresville, North Carolina, and today we're going to talk about what are closing costs. Now, I'm not going to go through how to read a closing disclosure. I've got at least 2 videos on that on my channel. You're welcome to go check those out for a detailed explanation of how to read and understand your closing disclosure. But today I'm going to tell you about the buckets of closing costs. I get a lot of buyers that are a little confused when they're going through the home buying process because they think, okay, I agreed to pay $200,000 for this house, so I just need to make sure I can come up with enough cash for a down payment and get a loan for the balance of $200,000, but they're not factoring in their closing costs. So what are they? Closing costs are comprised of all the things that don't make up the purchase of the house, meaning this is in addition to the purchase price you agree to with your seller. And most commonly, those include any lender fees like origination or loan commitment. Your lender has to find out if you're in a flood zone, if they got to check your taxes to make sure that what you reported on your loan application is true. So there's all sorts of lender fees that you're going to have to pay. There's also attorney's fees. So the attorneys have to get paid for the work they do to make sure you can get clear title and actually get you to and through the closing. Then there are recording fees paid to the Register of Deeds. So those are included in your closing costs. In addition to that, you're probably going to have inspectors that you need to pay. I would never recommend a buyer go through purchasing a home without performing inspections. So you'll probably have a home inspection, septic and well if you have those systems on the property, surveys. We strongly encourage surveys. So those are part of your closing costs, whether you pay them before the closing or on the closing statement. And then you're going to have things like homeowner's insurance. If you're getting a loan, you got to pay that up front for a year, so that's going to be on your closing statement. You also pay interest on the loan from the day you close until the time your first payment is due. And then you've got other things like proration of taxes, HOA dues, if you have HOA dues that are part of your neighborhood. And then you're going to have other things that could come up that are just specific to your property. Like if you have a boat slip, there will probably be boat slip dues as well. A few other things that can come up, if the seller doesn't agree to provide a home warranty in the contract, then you can purchase that at the closing or from a home warranty company and pay it on your closing statement. So that'll be a closing cost. And then if you have a lender that requires you to have an escrow account, you have to fund the escrow account at closing. So that escrow account can never be at zero. It always has to have some cushion, and that's part of what you pay in your closing costs. So like I said, this is not a how to read your closing statement type video. This is just a list of the types of things you can expect to pay in closing costs. Not every one applies to every purchase. For example, if you're paying cash, a lot of these won't apply. But you've got to consider your things like title insurance and attorney's fees and lender's fees when you're figuring out how much money you need to have for closing. So as you go looking for your dream home, just remember that the purchase price isn't all that you'll pay. You'll have some other people to pay too.